We've done a serious research, we've done a study. Now, background, I used to have a spaza shop. After competition, I was on compete, I had to go into the study and make sure that we win back all these shops that have been taken from us. The first slide is the study that is done by Nielsen Company. It's a company overseas. If you look at the first point there, we are born where it says South Africa is home in total of 2,500 modern trade. Modern trade, we're talking about your big fours, those big shops, your Shoprite, Woolies, and Pick n Pays, and 140,000 traditional trade, which we call them TTs. Sikhuluma ngama-spaza shop ke la. Ama-spaza shops iy'tolo lezi that were zoned esikhulu laphana emalokishini. And then total annual retail sales ka 2017, which was 2016 ka March, isinikeza 316.5 billion. That is the money total retail in South Africa. 22.3% is 70.5 billion. Imali that is being contributed by this spaza shop that is Guma Township 8. I will just quickly slide so that we can get to where we've done a demonstration so that we can have a better idea. So I think now you are quite aware about imali sikhuluma the money that thina sispendayo ephumayo kithina, kodwa we don't have work, we don't have imisebenzi kuyona, kodwa we are trying now to see and open opportunities kuso le space we space it because of thina. You must remember, see market, thina we are consumers, but abantu these opportunities ngokudla kwethu, then they come into business. This is another evidence that was done by UNISA, where 2002, a turnover 7 billion was contributed to the economy of the country, creating 290,000 jobs. When UNISA went back to just trace these numbers are no longer there because of the foreign nationals have taken over. The strategic objective of this business is to recapture the township and rural market for the benefit and local communities, circulation of township economy, jobs direct and indirect, capacitate local farmers, producers, and government cooperatives. Value proposition, the main aim is to assist local townships, rural business. We focusing on youth, women, and disability, and men. Advantages of central buying, training, mentorship, promotion, and improves social networks. Business opportunities and problem identified. After the big companies, they realize of the untapped billions in the township, they came and we see now good shopping malls that attracted influx of foreigners and made our local businesses could no longer compete. Now, this is the business flow. I will spend a bit of time here and another slide, then I'll be done. Now, if you see the business flow, now we're talking about ispaza shop selection. Now, ispaza shop selection, where you see there's a supplier, there's a DC. The DC is a distribution center. We've got the wholesaler. Then we've got an operator. An operator is a spaza owner, let's say an end user, that's me and you. Now, this is what is happening. And we are saying to this slide, we want to be radical about this. Now, you see the top three, the supplier, DC, and wholesaler, they've got a good relationship. That's where you find ama-rebates enzeka khona. That's where you find ama-discount amaningi enzeka khona. But the only person who's been sidelined is an operator themselves, because the operators just have to have a relationship between an operator and a wholesaler, and that's it, an end user, which is currently happening right now. But this is the proposed business flow that we want to happen in our townships. Now, a supplier we know for sure, and a producer, that he doesn't know a spaza shop owner. That's the fact. And he knows the product, it ends there and is being consumed by the end user. We want to change the previous slide to say we want the spaza shop owners to have their own distribution centers in their townships, so that the supplier is quite aware of this distribution center, and there's a relationship, and there's a discount and the rebates that will happen there. Now, most of the times when you listen to some of the officials of government, they talk about bulk buying. The question is, where are you going to go and bulk buy? The challenge is you can't bulk buy from suppliers. They won't allow it because they've got the better relationship with the distribution centers and the wholesalers, meaning that if government wants to spend their money in bulk buying, they will have to speak to the wholesalers and the distribution centers, which you haven't made a difference. You have taken another money from government and reaching still the very same people. What we are saying is that if a DC that is in the township and is being co-owned, you must note that it should be co-owned by the spaza shop owners themselves, based on their performance of their businesses. Because now we are starting to attract now, which when government do the bulk buy, the people that will benefit more are the same operators that are co-owning the distribution center that is the township. And again, the suppliers will also transfer their rebates to the very same distribution center where the operator themselves will also benefit from those rebates. So this is a slide that we call, it fits very well with radical transformation, economic transformation, that we want to get rid of the previous slides that we had. Now, also we want to create an appealing brand. As you can see on your right-hand side, that's your typical spaza shop. We want to give it a better look and feel. This is your normal spaza shop, and this is what we want to create to be. But then we had to sit and now say, Asambeni exercise what we have discovered. We have raised some few money to say, let's take one shop and try and demonstrate what we are talking about. Even the government themselves, when they partner with us, they understand exactly what we're talking about. Now, if you take note, you see the turnover there, it's 500 rands per day. Mastola, this owner, he was making 500 rands per day, which is his turnover. Now you see, Stolosake Lapani's got those advertisements of Grandpa, your Vodacom, I think that is free marketing from those big companies. These companies cannot do what they've done with a Sastolo who Pick and Pay because of their brand is very expensive. So we want to say to suppliers, no, if you want to put whatever you've put there, you have to pay the operator themselves, because if we can't give you free operation, then marketing. When you look also Kuma activations, you go to the malls, you go wherever, all those activation companies are owned by white people. I don't know of any black company that doing activation. If ever it's there, trust me, it's less than 2%. Whole of money is happening there. Billions and billions of money of rents are happening. Those are opportunities for our SMMEs. In our township, when we can say, look, as something anyone who come to activate Kulama shops, Kulama malls now, we want local SMMEs that will be transfer skills that they train, they do those activations for these big companies. We have done something, and people will appreciate that. we're getting rid of these adverts which are free, because of obviously when I open a sponsor shop, I don't have a budget. You pay the store some. So in the Jabulisa, I want to sell if I pay the store some, get blue. And then I'm happy about that. But for another 5 or 10 years, my shop will be blue. And the guy is getting a lot of money because of his help, that free advertisement. Now, but since started the store, okay, what we've done, we tried to revamp it. So renovating, lighting, shelving, satisfying the stock. And please note, Lestola, we took it, it was in an informal settlement where there was no water and electricity, but we've tried by all means with this fire, my generator and everything, so that's be operational. So when you see that big truck, the owner is a paraffin in 20 liters. So we've in 2,000 liters tank and the truck came. So what we have done, we've created wealth for this person because of now other shop came to buy. Other shop came to buy paraffin. Now he became a wholesaler now, and we've just created wealth from him. So if you do this thing, an opening day, it was nice. Everybody was there. There was free Wi-Fi. Everybody's excited. But if you take what I've just presented here, why is about Kuma Bank? Well, it's a good presentation. So what? Their interest, it's the figures. So now, what change is in now we're going for the figures now. If now you recall the 500 rands per day, I don't know whether it's clear on my screens that I am. So first day, this guy made 8,755 from 500 rands. And then the second day, same thing. We knew first day it will be that look and feel, people will go, but as the average will drop a bit to